And
Martin Couzins.
So Martin, we've just done a session on HR and ethics. Thoughts?
What you go and ask me first for?
It's the ethical choice, my friend. It's the ethical choice.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. There are a few people on the panel, and it basically, I suppose the discussion point is around the fact that one thing that came out, I can't get my words out, sorry, is that Roger Steare is a professor at the Cass Business School. He's done some research on the moral DNA of HR professionals, and he said that the research shows that at home HR professionals are very humane, and they want to go to work and they want to do a good work with people. You know, that's why a lot of people go into HR. And he found that when they get there, they end up being very compliant.
Yeah.
And this poses all sorts of problems around ethics, because compliance equals behaviour that isn't necessarily ethical. And so he's kind of exploring that tension. And in actual fact, that's what the whole panel was really looking at. And I thought it was a really interesting one. It's basically, how do you act ethically and have some principles and morals in the way that you work. And I think it's just a big challenge for HR because of all the rules and regulations, and basically passing down what senior people in organisations who may not be ethical want to happen, and it puts people in HR in difficult positions. So I think it was a really interesting exploration of what is, a very timely, relevant topic, but also quite complex in terms of what that means on a personal level at work.
I thought it was quite fascinating. There's a couple of people on the panel have been in quite difficult environments, including one particular individual who was in the Jewish army and talking about the takeover of Palestine and various opportunities and options. But he wanted to be ethical and thought he was being ethical, and it was that traumatic environment that actually highlighted that his behaviours weren't ethical, and he then opted to get out of the military in that instance. I think it was quite interesting that in a normal sense of the word, most of us want to be ethical, but the chances are our intentions are one thing but our behaviours are something else, unless we're confronted with something which is quite traumatic, where it really highlights that we're crossing a line. I wonder if we only really know if something's ethical or ethically wrong when we've gone way over the line and we then stop and think about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought, this idea of dehumanising behaviour and how if you're dehumanised you will then you will act in that kind of way, and you will be dehumanising other people in the way that you are acting. And I think that came out in this very powerful story about being in the army and being faced with very difficult situations. Okay, we're not all in those situations, but actually our behaviours do reinforce, some unethical. We may be taking unethical decisions, or based on what an organisation wants. You only have to look at things like financial services, some of the big scandals that have rocked organisations, and you find that kind of behaviour is happening.
Well, I know from inside the LinkedIn group we have discussions about whether someone's entitled to annual leave or not because they work 4 days rather than 5, and it's almost a case of how can we get away with paying them less or giving them less, without those individuals actually realising what they're doing is actually unethical behaviour.
Yeah.
They're trying to do it what they believe to be for the right reasons, but if you just step back and you look at it from the outside, you think, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. Anyway, I guess we could talk about this for a long time.
Yeah, I think, finally, it's this point about treating people as humans and being humane is basically what has to be happening in the way everyone works. Yeah. And the minute we talk of people as resources, and start treating people as resources, we are dehumanising them, and that's deeply problematic. And I think that was kind of what everyone was saying. We need to move right away from that. But behaving ethically can be very difficult.
Okay. So I guess we need to start treating people the way we want other people to treat our mums.
Exactly.
See you later.
Bye.